Okay, we're good. So we'll get right to it. We've got John Callahan, Hudson River, Black River Regulating District Executive Director. Here to talk about some updates for the dam.
Yes.
Form the board, all that jazz.
Love to do that. I'll just set up this poster board too. Where's best for me to stand for your purposes? I know you said you're recording this. Right here's fine.
Good there.
Fine. Can't see them.
Well, I appreciate you having me, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board, and folks, neighbors. Thank you for having me here today to talk about the dam project. And we spell that D-A-M. We also sometimes spell it a different way. Again, as advertised, my name's John Callahan. I'm Executive Director of the Hudson River Black River Regulating District.
John, can you scoot over a little side and go to the side? Don's got this nifty, oh, there we go. That's perfect.
Set this up.
Still got Judy in there. It's good. Wow.
All right. Thank you.
She's going to get blocked.
Set the poster board up so people gasp and dismay.
There we go. Perfect.
It's going to look like.
Nailed it.
So I know the board has seen this a lot. So I excuse me if I have my back partially to you and the poster board fully to you. But again, just for purposes of folks who have not heard this before, had the pleasure of being here a few times over the last couple of years to make presentations, and this is the first one I've made where construction is actually underway on the project. We have two dams under our jurisdiction on the Fulton chain that we're rehabilitating as part of a single project. This project has been awarded to Tioga Construction, so a fairly local company. We're happy about that, and a very reputable and capable company relative to water retaining infrastructure, which we, of course, like to see. It's a total $16.4 million investment in these two dams. When you take into account the engineering support that goes on as well, the construction value is 12.8. That's for both dams. They're related, but a little bit different. The Sixth Lake Dam that we're doing at the same time is a high hazard dam. This dam here in Old Forge, an intermediate hazard. When we talk about hazard, that's not a condition rating, it's a hazard classification. In other words, if this dam were to fail suddenly, would it result in downstream significant property damage or loss of life? But they're both very old, to put it mildly. And in 1905, here, in 1920, respectively, constructed at a time much before modern DEC dam safety regulations. So when we talk about the condition of these structures, it's not necessarily the case that this dam is about to fail, there's any imminent threat, but if dams were constructed today, they would be constructed much differently. And specifically relative to both structures, and you see this sort of zigzag or labyrinth spillway design, the current spillway capacity of both dams is not sufficient to pass the probable maximum flood if you were to have the worst case or nearly worst case precipitation scenario without overtopping the earthen embankment portion of the dam itself. So spillway is designed to convey water. Earthen embankment part of the dam is not. If the water's going over the spillway, you can stand there on the bridge here and look at it, ooh and ah. If it's coming over the earthen embankment, run. So the idea here is to have spillways that are sufficient to convey that necessary amount of water in a significant flooding event. Now, what we need to do in order to accomplish that is to increase the overall spillway capacity or length. If we were to have a straight spillway, roughly the configuration this existing spillway is in, we'd have to move that dam up into the lake quite a bit. Now, nobody would want that. So we want to keep it in the same footprint, but increase the spillway length. And that necessitates this labyrinth design. You could also have, in some dams, you see a very sort of pronounced oval design, but the idea is to get more spillway length in the same footprint. Construction activities after a long period of design and then contracting and then permitting, which was interesting, and then approval of subs, approval of contractor plans and submittals, now finally getting underway. Nothing ever happens the way or exactly on the schedule that we'd like it to. So you just see, if you're up in Inlet, for instance, you'd see the first part of the coffer dam going in, and you'll see that here shortly. And when I talk about the coffer dam, one of the central elements of this project that the board insisted on, and we insisted on, is that the project be constructed in a way that does not change normal water levels during the course of construction. We know how important these bodies of water are for resources, local economic impact, recreation, health and safety. So that necessitated a very sort of intricate and carefully scripted design and sequence design, whereby in this case, in Old Forge, we will initially continue to operate this half of the dam as it presently does with the water control that exists currently, where we construct a coffer dam, isolate this half of the dam, remove the existing spillway, and build this half of the new labyrinth spillway. Then we will switch over. This new half will have the new gatehouse, so we'll have water control. And then next season, we'll swap that and construct the other half. And we're doing the same thing essentially at Sixth Lake as well, although there we don't have the luxury of just continuing to utilize the existing gatehouse, so the contractor will have to build a temporary water control structure there as well. It's a tight spot where we all know one of our focuses, or foci maybe, I'm pretty sure I just butchered the English language, over the last few years is working with the town board to make sure that we incorporate the concerns, whether it's over the winter with snowmobile access, over the summer, parking, the water trail, and part of just being responsive as stewards of these dams is knowing when to adjust midstream. So after we set up the containment area over on the other side, we had a meeting with the supervisor and heard about some constituent feedback. So we asked the contractor to adjust that laydown area, and they did. So that's going to be an ongoing process, I think, throughout the project. Any project like this in a relatively small downtown setting is going to necessitate that level of communication and coordination. So we hope we're doing okay on that, and we'll always look to do better. That having been said, it is a big project. It's a big project in a small area. We know that there will be temporary impacts. We know that there will be inconveniences, and we hope to mitigate those inconveniences as we go along. One of the things that we said early on, talking to the town government here 3.5 years ago, is what would you like to see as part of, as in the way of community benefits as we construct this project? And at the time, the town had recently updated its comprehensive plan, wanted to do different design with the docks, walkway, perhaps some lighting, the Old Forge sign. So we incorporated those elements into the project. And I think that brings me to the point where I'm going to ask if folks have any questions, as I hope you do. Yes?
I have 3 questions, actually. That particular design, has it been proven in other areas where the same type of water flow is going to be happening over that dam? Has that design been proven?
Yeah, the labyrinth spillway design has been it's been heavily used in dam reconstruction for about the last 20 years, including on bodies of water and reservoirs with much greater head and with much greater surface area. So it has been utilized extensively in America and throughout the country, throughout the world.
Well, the covered bridge, I see you've got a line drawing down to the covered bridge there. I'm not sure what that is. Is that going to be impacted at all?
Not impacted at all outside of the construction area. In fact, I think it'll probably be prime viewing for the project. I don't know if we want to see 100 people standing there watching those folks do their thing, but yes, it will not be impacted or altered in any way.
One final question.
Of course, you can ask 10 more.
I was asked actually this weekend where the put-in will be for the community routes.
So initially, there are 2 points. There are 2 spots I'll point out on this map. One is at the end of this sort of boardwalk area over here, which was envisioned for the post-construction put-in area for canoes and kayaks. And that we arrived at that again, over the course of a couple of years of talking to the town here, for temporary access, we had proposed relocating the temporary access sort of at the almost the border between the construction area on this side and the beach. In consultation with the supervisor and other members of the administration, we have elected to work with our contractor to move the put-in area over by, I don't know how to best describe that spot, right by the marina.
Yeah, over by Rivets.
Rivets.
I know the.
Where that little beach area is.
Yep.
Currently.
Yep. And I think the discussion in terms of permanent relocation of the put-in spot continues. I don't think the
It's
determination.
Yep.
Northern Forest Canoe Trails reached out. They one of their members said it was Michael Lynch. Kyle and I walked with them, and
They'll be here again this Friday, in fact. The
Yes.
director is coming.
Yeah.
But to quote, I think it was Ronald Reagan, whether you like him or not, it's a good line. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. I think he said those were the scariest words in the English language, but in our case, we mean it. So, we've always known that it's important to be flexible here in this transition here locally. So it makes a lot of sense. And certainly the contractor is happy to not have the temporary launching location in such close proximity to the construction area. So we think it's a good solution.
So we were just trying to have a meeting here with the setup part of this as they actually started to get set up with the whole project. And, there was a couple things we adjusted, like Pied Piper, they pretty much, with the snowmobile route, took away quite a few of their parking spots. And we walked with them, and Justin and I walked over there today. Great. They've got more parking spots to back up so we don't back into one another. The other one was the beach was kind of consumed quite a bit. Hannah, she's kind of walking around, and you guys, they totally responded to that and adjusted. Very courteous with that. And then the Northern Forest Canoe Trail, since we're losing some parking spots over here, we were going to then send people from the current spot over to the canoe trail launch over almost down by Water's Edge Beach, and then people wouldn't really have a place to park because those spots will probably be taken up, and they're going to carry their canoes, kayaks, whatever, all the way over there. And that led to thoughts over there. I know Kurt's been a part of this, but back when, your days as a board member, these discussions. So it's not the permanent spot. And,
Nothing.
yeah.
One more question, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Same question for Six Lakes. What is going to be for Six Lakes?
So in the exact same spot, fortunately at Sixth Lake, 98% of the construction will be on the bird side and almost entirely all the access. The laydown area, everything is on that one side. There will only be minimal need to get small equipment occasionally, really in year 2 over on the other side. And even in that scenario, we don't anticipate that it will impact parking along the access road or the use of that put-in location. And that's one of the things that our other colleagues from the Northern Forest Canoe Trail want to take a look at this Friday. Not just everyday use, but of course looking at the race in September and making sure that they'll have access and everything will go smoothly, which is our desire as well.
I have a question. So it might be a very silly question, but so when the water is full, you're not gonna see that. You're not gonna see that, like these things. Like when the water is coming over it,
Yeah.
you're not going to see that.
Well, you will see it because when the water spills and the spillways conveying water, there will be these wedges where the water is not flowing. When you go over the spillway today, it's just lapping, maybe up, not quite lapping over the flashboards, but it's a straight line. Here you will see that it will be a zigzag, for lack of a better word. But one of the things the spillway with increased surface area gets you is less variation in the water level. So without the need to utilize water control gates. So if you got a 2-inch precipitation event coming and you say, okay, well, let's open up a couple of gates 50% because we want to get ahead of it, and that the level drops maybe 3 inches, and then it rains, the level rises that 3 inches, and then another 3, and it's a 6-inch swing, and then maybe you overcompensate, but here you will almost, for normal precipitation, you'll almost never need to crack a gate because the spillway has that much more surface area. It's going to kind of dial in the elevation on its own. So there's a huge water management improvement that is attendant to the design feature here
Is
as
there
well.
one of these that looks like this already somewhere near here?
In New York State, I'm trying to think of the Canal Corp the Canal Corporation is building one of these on one of its southern reservoirs. Not within driving distance. I'm gonna find out the answer to that question
Yeah.
and then arrange a field trip if we
Because right now, I
can.
gotta tell you, I've never seen this, and I know that my
Yeah.
husband's on town board,
Yeah.
I've never seen this design, it is probably the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, beauty is definitely.
We like pretty here.
This
Yes,
is like a
yeah.
beautiful town, and
Yes.
people come here because it's beautiful, and I know that you guys are already constructing, it's probably like way too late.
It is definitely way too late.
It's definitely way too
I'm
late.
shocked at what this looks like, I'm shocked that I've never seen it, I'm shocked that that
Yep.
you don't know if another one is like this somewhere and what it looks like. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of kind of.
Well, way too late is the operative phrase. We have, this this design has not changed, for about the last 3 years. We knew we would have a labyrinth spillway. We've had it here, presentations on this a few times before. But I will definitely agree with you that not everybody will fall in love with this design, unless you're a dam safety engineer. May be gaga over it.
We got the covered bridge.
Yeah.
Well, if you do find one that exists already and you have a picture or a video, I just out of curiosity, what it looks like when it's actually working.
That's a great question, and if my chief engineer were here, he would immediately tell you where or probably pull up
The
a
video,
picture.
yeah, what it looks like, because that was.
I'm not a damn safety engineer, and I didn't stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night. But this is not, if you have a particular aesthetic, this might not be it. Get you that.
Yeah.
You guys have any questions or?
Be back on Friday.
I just have one. Is the bike path impacted at all?
No.
And we've so as you come off of the pedestrian bridge, it goes in front of this building, right? And this is all going to be on this side of the laydown area. One of the things the contractor is doing is replacing the temporary access gate on that side with a construction control gate. Again, they'll be out here. I know they're coordinating with you, supervisor, and we'll not have to get in and out of that area frequently, but that will necessitate some a configuration that will allow both the beach to utilize that gate as an emergency ingress and egress, and also for construction access when necessary. But one of the things we heard a lot about a year or so ago, and I think in the last fall at the public sessions, was the need to maintain snowmobile traffic in a way that didn't really necessitate a sharp turn, so we sort of changed the configuration there, but that access will continue to be available.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if the board had any questions after we kind of got set up, because I know we made some adjustments, and I just, the loss of parking at Pied Piper's the big one, and obviously the beach, but, I think
You know how to reach
options
us
do we have? Yeah,
7 days a week.
and I just appreciate you guys adjusting to those things, as we walk through it, so.
I'm sure it's not the last time we'll need to do that, so we want to continue to mitigate any impacts during construction and set this up in a way that's successful for the long term
It's
as well.
a lot of moving parts between the beach and
No question.
everything.
Very challenging area.
And now that it's set up, it's nice to know people are gonna know that it's gonna be happening and moving. There's your office down here. We talked about this the last meeting and all that. So there's questions that can be had. And I guess the last thing I'd leave you with is it's this season, next summer season as well. And then we would hope we'd be done before.
It'll be
that summer, but
Wrapping up over the winter of 2027, 2028, and not impacting the summer season of 2028.
it'd be
Now we are into the 37th month of our 2-year project at Indian Lake Dam in Hamilton County.
It's 13 months over.
Yes, you get into projects like this, you definitely can get surprised when you're dealing with 100-year-old plus infrastructure. 1905 here, this dam. What we have going for us in this case is that Indian Lake Dam, Conklinville Dam, which we'll be doing next, Hawkinsville Dam, which we completed a couple of years ago. We're trying to preserve existing spillways, existing infrastructure, bring the dams up into full compliance with DEC dam safety standards, but we did not need a wholesale replacement at the structures. Here, there's a beauty in the simplicity of everything's coming out and being replaced by something new. Even though it's in some ways a larger scope in terms of the overall project, it reduces the variables to some extent. So we have a great contractor. They're going to be motivated to wrap up on time and get out of everybody's way. And more time means more money. So we're excited for that as well.
Yeah. All right. Guess you're good. Okay.
So, always know how to reach me, supervisor, and we'll be here a lot. As you said, the office is set up right downtown. And Ron Olmsted, who you've met, Chris Orlandi is going to be the engineer in charge. They'll be there most of the time if they're not up on Six Lake, because they'll be going back and forth, as will I, quite a bit. So
And
really
Fridays, with I forgot her name, recent email, Northern Forest Canoe Trails. Is it this Friday or next Friday?
This Friday.
I can't be there, so I don't know if anybody else wants to.
What time on Friday?
we should be here. I've had to. I don't want to get into the logistics of picking my kid up from college, but I've had to change my schedule a little bit and ask them for a change in schedule. So it's 11:30 at Six Lake now. I would expect we'll be down here by 12:30 on Friday.
They kind of just want to see for the upcoming 90-miler how the access over there. The race will be affected.
We'll definitely want to go over and look at that temporary location. And Supervisor, I know you spoke to Ron also this afternoon.
Yeah.
Asked him to coordinate with the town on relocation of those signs, the Northern Forest Canoe Trail signs too.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. And anything else?
Thank you for all that you guys are doing with responding to it. It's a tough gig.
It's our pleasure. And fortunately, you put an open door right behind me. Things not too bad. I could have taken off, but you were very gracious with your time, and appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
Be back.
Safe travels.
See everybody.
They've been pretty good all the way.
Yeah,
They've been really great to talk to, and
Kyle, you're gonna be able to go Friday? Come
Yeah,
here
I can
Friday?
try and make it. Yeah.
Is it 12:30? If the store's not overcrowded with a bunch of people, I will come down.
Mother's Day weekend.
When are they meeting here?
I'm not sure.
Let us know.
They're coming down from up there. I'll put you guys. I'll send you guys an email to
All right.
contact with them. Yeah.
I could probably stop down during lunch.
Teamwork here, just Kurt, or is it
Any of us can join in. I think it's
whoever?
yeah, so thanks for having us. Just kind of wanted to get you up to date with Keep Our Wildlife Wild in the state and the Bear Wise program. Over the last year, we've been doing a lot of work with Keep Our Wildlife Wild and the state, and working together and collaborating on the bear problem and just the wildlife problem in general in town. We saw a huge difference last year with the law that you put in place, which was great, as far as really cutting down on numerous incidents, especially even with just deer feeding in the community and stuff. There's certain areas that still have that going on, but we did see a lot more people waking up to the idea of $1,000 fine and $2,000 fine and stuff that really is making a difference. So it's been a huge impact. So the state started joined in with the Bear Wise program. The Bear Wise program, I believe it's in 47 states right now currently across our country. States can opt to join in or not. But basically they're based out of Florida. They support, everything with bears, from brown bears to black bears. And so they've come up with this really great program. They have a lot of data and sheets and seminars and different stuff of keeping communities in touch with how to improve their problems. So the state signed on. We've been talking with them through it. They were just trying to get under the program last year. Now things are ramping up. And so I know Don came in and presented, our group, and that our group is working with the town board and everything already. And we appreciate the support in the past. So, but they've reached out to us recently that they want to make us the flagship Bearwise community. So the first Bearwise community in New York State. Meeting with them next week to finalize what that entails us finishing up doing. So some of the key components is the fact that we already have some bear or wildlife containers around town, that they want to have an outside organization such as ours already in place that's also working from a community nonprofit aspect. So we already have that in place, which most communities don't. And that that we're continuing doing education and helping cut down on this stuff. So what we're hoping to do in the literature that I handed out to you right there so far, we would really like to. We did actually get awarded a grant too from the Community Foundation for $15,000 for education, $5,000 for education, and $10,000 for garbage improvements in the community. So with that said, one of the things that we really are hoping to do is to do a mailing to the short-term rental list with your permission. And cooperation, we'd have to work together because of getting the list and the labels and stuff. But we'd like to mail out what I handed to you there and have the holes punched so that people maybe include them into their 3-ring binders that they have there for the Airbnbs, and also that the homeowners can also go through the checklists that are provided there to maybe improve their existing Wise program that they have at their own home, whether they know it or not. And hopefully they'll do that. One of our big goals is to hopefully minimize it to the point that we don't have to keep putting down bears every year from human conflict for no reason. And so that, it's always unfortunate, especially when the Cubs get involved into that process too. So if you look through these paperworks here, and we'd really like to be able to do that. We have the funding to get the printing done. I don't know if that's a possibility that you guys be willing to mail those out, or if we would have to mail it out. But either way, that's something for you guys to figure out. I'm not sure how many permits, how many households there actually needs to be go to, but
Ask Jay.
Jay, what's the number on that?
Close to 500.
yeah, that's what I figured. I figured around 500. But
Sorry.
we are also hoping, we have some volunteers that are coming forwards for maybe having, and we have to talk to the farmers market, but we're hoping to maybe either have tables at the farmers market with the literature so we can educate people when they're there. Also, we'd like to do it like in the center of town and on busy times. Have our volunteers there with the tables with all the literature, and so they can just educate the people, answer questions, inform them of what's going on, why this is important. And then one of the other aspects too, which I'll email you with the design of it, and I'd like to get together with anybody and Scott and talk about, is with the dumpsters in town, we can have a welded angle iron bar go across the center of the dumpster. And with the plastic lids going down, if you install a ratchet strap, which they have systems that's in place, so it's not like clumsy, it's not super quick, but it's quick enough that when you ratchet it down, it actually makes it a bear-proof dumpster without having to go out and invest $6,000 to $8,000 for a bear-proof metal dumpster, which are very heavy and big. Which if that's what has to happen down the road, that's what will have to happen. But in a short term, it would be amazing, and we have funding, so we could pay for the welding and the bars to install as many as we can amongst the community members that are willing to let us do them in the dumpsters, because I believe that they actually own the dumpsters, right? But we want to make sure as a group that it's not going to create a problem on the town's end by having this bar installed or anything like that. We obviously, from safety aspects and stuff like that too. So, but that would be something that we would love to see happen, is if we can improve, if that's going to be working okay with the garbage end of removal. We would love to go out and approach the different business owners and see if we can go and have this installed and replaced. And
You said you guys have the funding for that?
as part of that grant that we got, we would allocate
That's pretty cool.
a portion of that money until it runs out, essentially. And so that's from a commercial standpoint. From a residential standpoint, there's also a thing that we'll have on our website, and it might be in one of these pieces of paper or two, but all of the stuff that we're doing is on the Bearwise website. So this has been proven techniques across the country, even with brown bears, to be successful as far as on a commercial operation with the dumpsters. So it does work. It's not perfect, but it does work. In the perfect world, you get the heavy duty metal locking things there, but obviously that's would be a huge number. So this seems like a really easy way for us to at least help the improvements of hoping to lessen the draw of the bears coming to town and be in condition to go to the dumpsters and go to the places and stuff like that. So, which would obviously drastically reduce human conflict amongst that. So that's something that we'd love to see, have another conversation with, point with that. On a residential side, they have a strap system that isn't bear proof, but it's more bear resistant. Basically, it's just screwing in 4 straps or 6 straps or how many straps you want to do, but they just buckle together, and you put them out with metal washers so that doesn't break the plastic. You pre-drill them, bolt them on. You put the lid on, you can snap the lid shut, so that way if the wind blows it over, the garbage doesn't fly over, or if a deer knocks over a garbage can, or the birds aren't getting over it. And if bears get into it, they are bear resistant in the sense that if you hear the noise going out and you go out and shoot the bear away, the bear is not getting in. If you don't come out there, the bear is going to eventually get in. I mean, it's just straps, right? And so, but bear-proof garbage cans are $500 to $600 a piece. I don't see the community going out and buying $600 garbage cans or expecting anybody to. But this is a really simple thing that we can install. And we've talked about from our organization that if this seems okay and it's not going to create a problem with the garbage removal part, that some of us, if people need us to help them install that part of it, we could go and do that, or we can make the kits available that people can pick up from us. As soon as we get permission, we'll go out and buy the pieces. But we're really hoping to just minimize the amount of exposure for the bears to have access, and just wildlife in general within the communities. So it's been proven if you really cut down and limit it, they won't come. I mean, they're just coming for the food. So if we start doing these, we'll have less and less problems, and hopefully it will lead to us not having to terminate them for things that we're doing. It just seems senseless at that point. I do have another pile here of just a lot more information that I don't think is necessarily super important to mail out to the houses and stuff like that. But it's great to have access for anybody that has questions if they're hiking or camping, or there's a list for everything. We're getting a quote right now from PJ Green to get a lot of this stuff printed off that we can leave also in the information center, so you can have stuff for handouts there. There's a trifold on some stuff too that's really good. So we'd like to also have that around the community and have access for that.
And PJ Green, they'll quote you too on doing a mass mailing, right? If we provide the addresses?
We could, yeah. I mean, if that's
Just to find out what it would cost,
Sure.
Yeah.
No, if we said 500, I can ask him if
Yep.
it's 500, and for sure I can get the quote for that.
We'll see what we can do, maybe on our town end too, so we don't have to, if you guys are raising money,
No, no, but I'm just saying this so we know what that would cost, or we could all sit here and hand address them, have fun one night.
Yeah.
Or 10.
Or 10.
Honestly, if we had
500
those in our
envelopes.
office, we could hand those out with the permits.
And we will, so that we'll make sure that we give a stack to you, so that we.
Lots of
going forward,
avenues.
There's not a problem, but, I just think that the more that people are informed, the more that people have tools in here. There's a bunch of stuff you'll see of like simple little things you can do. Electric mats are becoming a really big deal.
I saw that in here just now.
Instead of putting electric fences up, if you have a garbage area that's becoming a problem, or if you have a shed that's becoming a problem, or certain areas that are instead of putting an electric fence around it, which they're stepping over or breaking through, they're taking a literally metal fencing, essentially putting it on the ground and electrifying the fencing. So it has to be anything standing on the mat. So the bear can't jump in the air long enough to get to the garbage. It's not going to be happy, or any wildlife, but that includes people too.
I was going to say, hopscotch.
Fun with that, man.
But to be honest, it really does work great, and they do make them now, commercial ones that you can put as doormats in your house. Like if you're having a problem with a bear trying to break into your house, you can literally put this mat right in front of your doorway when you go away, and it's electrified. And So a lot of communities are turning to that system too, so that people aren't, I wasn't aware of that,
I didn't.
until I saw it on the.
Might have to
5 minutes
get
ago,
one.
scan through these
Not for the
papers.
Bears.
And they're pretty simple to set up. They're not, it's not hard to do, you know?
With a diet from the fridge.
So that's basically it. We wanted to let you know that we're putting into action, hopefully within the community of, you know, the garbage stuff. And then also, you know, working with the state that they do want to do a ribbon cutting up here at some point in time. I imagine will be settled then the Monday meeting. They're going to meet with us over at our gallery.
Yeah, Ben, I know you've been on this for a few years, Kyle, whoever, you know.
Yeah, we were part of it when it was first. And
You guys want to go into the May 11th meeting, I think it's at 1 PM, the DEC, Dan, and Tim, is his new supervisor. He's gonna come over, go to the Bear Den at 1 o'clock. You know, I'd be happy to be there, but if you both want to go, or if two other people want to go, that's fine too. I've been kind of communicating with Dan from DEC, so we can figure that out.
What time is that one?
That'd be great to have two people from the board there.
1 PM next Monday.
yeah, Monday.
I did invite the chief of police too, because we had him at the first meeting that we did, that 2 board members were at. It was great, because then we're all in sync. We're gonna discuss over enforcement and also hazing and what their plans are for the summer and you know.
Maybe at that meeting, we can come up with what you might need from us from a town perspective, the DEC might need from us from a town perspective, and then maybe we can just put it right in play, because the next night is the Tuesday regular meeting.
Yeah, and so,
there's
and if you look here too, the community action, this kind of spells out everything to be a better, wise community. That's in the first page of your thing there. So we're basically already there, you know, more or less, essentially.
I meant to like accept the actual designation,
Oh, yeah.
like the next night or something, if we wanted to get on there.
Tuesday's meeting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they want to come up and do it, that'd be great.
And then I remember Don Andrews standing up here, must have been 2 to 3 years ago now, and it's a testament to you guys and everybody that's been doing it. Don said, you know, he assured the public at a public meeting, this is going to take a while to educate everybody. This changes, and we, from where we were a few years ago to where it is now, I just applaud everybody that's been involved. I know Bonnie was involved a lot, and I know everybody's been working on this, so I just,
Yeah, no, everybody's been great. I mean, Don, Kelly, Michelle,
for them to be, for the state to be seeking us out for,
wife, yeah.
yeah. So thanks to all those guys involved.
Yeah, and we do have the Bear Rehab Center that we're building. We raised $165,000 now in the last 6 months.
How much more do you need for that? to
So
finish that
200,000 is the base goal for us to be able to complete the outside structure and not daily operations, but it will open. But essentially, the protocols for it are really intense. They're 12-foot fences. They're double fenced, so it's literally a double fenced-in facility, electrified. There's fencing going under the ground, so they can't dig under. There's different dens that we have to build, and it's all being done. So it's designed after the Virginia Bear Center, which has been very successful. And the state asked us to design it after them. That's their protocol for it. And so it's done where the bears have minimal human contact from the time, once they get brought in, if they have to get brought in. The bears basically are bears in the woods, and the food that is found for them is blindly fed. So they don't see humans feeding them. There's not human contact. Minimal. If there is, then usually they get led into the den. There's a push bar thing that pushes them down. So if you have to do something with them, you can knock them out. But they don't actually see, very, very minimal contact with humans, because you never want them to become tied. They don't want, you never want to condition them that human food or anything like that. So whenever there is human interaction, there would be a hazing process that goes with it, so that they basically run from you. You want, if you have to walk into an area, those bears better run.
Yeah.
And so it's not, a lot of people think it's fun thing. It's actually like you're on this side of the wall and they're on that side of the wall, or this side of the two-way mirror and they're on that side of the two-way mirror. It's been out of but essentially, once the cubs get to a safe weight, which the state tells us when that is time to release them, they come and pick them up and they release them back in the wild. But we can only take in cubs 50 pounds and under, so we're not taking in. And when I say we, it's not Keep Our Wildlife Wild. We took on the role of helping the fundraising for it, but the Charles Gordon Wildlife Rehab Center down in Earlville are actually the ones that will be housing the bears and doing the daily handling and maintenance of it. Don Andrews and me both are class 1 wildlife rehabbers. So we're both we both have the ability to transport bears legally in New York State. And then the state asked our group for one of us to get a nuisance license. So I did complete the fulfillment of it. I haven't gotten the actual certificate, but I did pass the NUCO test. So, which means that I can handle animals even more. And then we did get the rabies. My wife and I were rabies certified now. So,
Thank you for doing all this,
so we
honestly.
have a lot of things in place. So
Bottom of my
there's a
heart.
problem in town with wildlife and stuff like that too. You know, I mean, I have certain abilities that I can do and can't do, but if it's something that, if you know of a problem with an animal being hurt or injured or anything like that, you can always contact us. If we can do something with it, we will. So.
Can I just add something?
Yeah, anything you
What's cool about these enclosures too is it's not, concrete. They're gonna be on dirt, there's gonna be trees in there, it's gonna be like an actual environment of where they would be, living. And if bears are taken there from the Adirondacks, when it's time to release them, they're going back to the Adirondacks. Bears are brought there from the Catskills, when it's time to release, they're going back to the Catskills. So it's really a good thing. This is a very positive thing, not only for our community, but for all the Adirondacks.
Yeah, the rehab center would be for any bears in New York State that can go there. So, and
We have working on some good fundraising coming up, so keep your eye out. Lots of parties.
actually, Don has a very good friend of his from
Livingston, Montana.
Yeah, Don was able to get Tom Murphy. He's going to come and be a guest speaker for us this summer as a fundraiser, and he's
July
an
25th, actually.
amazing wildlife photographer, and he actually has the forever. Well, you can say what.
Yeah, Tom's internationally known photographer. He's been to every continent, but he was also the first. Livingston, Montana is about an hour outside of Yellowstone. And he's been there for decades, and he was the first and maybe the only to ski across the park by himself. It took him 12 days to complete, lost 10% of his body weight, and of course he's taken a lot of pictures and written a few books. There's also a few documentaries out there on PBS that he's done, but he's very involved in conservation efforts, and so he's agreed to come here, and he's going to speak at View on July 25th.
Yeah,
And what time is that?
7 o'clock.
Determined a time, we'll let
July
you know.
25th.
I think it's 7 to 9 is what it is. But he also has the stamp coming out too, which is kind of
Yeah, he's got a stamp coming out at the end of May. The first release is 15 million stamps in the Boston area. And it's a bison, overlaying a bison. It's one of his photographs, and the overlay is something from the 1800s from the Smithsonian. And so that's kind of cool. And it's coming out just in sheets. So that's a pretty special thing to be doing. So he's just a very... Tom and I have been friends for years. I've been to many of his speeches, and I've never gotten tired of it. It's very charismatic. He's got a good story to tell. So I think the community, especially in the summertime, when we get a lot of people out, that might know him, might know Yellowstone. I think it's
You guys have certainly taken the wheel for that whole educate and inform thing from a couple of years ago. So
our goal is to
Thanks
educate
again.
and remove the garbage so that we don't need to rehab stuff and we don't have to have problems, right? I mean, like we're actually trying to put ourselves out of business, but
Right.
literally, like it may be great not to have to do this, right? Like if you can just learn to coexist.
We've talked to communities, out west. I've lived out west for 3 years. I've been in touch with some of the people I know out there, and they said the same thing you said. We're a few years in the making. We started this after the unfortunate incident here. So maybe a few years, here we are.
Here we are.
I think it'd be fun to regroup 2 or 3 or 5 years from now and say, when was the last time we had any of this? I mean, we're going in the right direction. So thanks for your help too.
Oh, no, thank you all. That's
And we are
thank you.
501c3 status that's recognized for
Donate.
So,
Keep our weapons.
yeah,
any questions?
we're on it. Yeah, you guys got any more on
Any
that?
concerns?
No.
I guess the big thing for us is just if we can sit down with Scott Gaffney and talk over the dumpsters and.
My thought was after the 11th meeting.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, whenever. I mean,
He might sit down and be like,
so,
but I'm certain he's going to be open to it. Makes it more
Yeah,
than us, right?
just figure out what's we'll see what's possible and what's not. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But it'd be great if we could do something to do that. It'd be a simple fix for I think it'd have a big impact. So,
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. You guys gotta stay there, you live local. So you guys gotta stay your local, you don't have to. It's John. Guys have anything else to chat about? I have a couple things, but figured.
Well, Chris is here to explain a little bit.
Right.
You can
Chris?
talk. Yeah,
Chris, what do you?
credit card.
Yeah, just wanted to make
Sure.
sure everyone's okay with us, reverting the cost of the credit card fees onto the customer that's purchasing summer tickets, winter tickets. I think it takes a little bit of process, it's not gonna cost us anything, I think we have the equipment that we need to do it, so just wanna make sure everybody's okay with that and put it in place.
Just one question, because I have done it in my store, but I'm not a municipality, and Kyle and I talked. Do we know, do municipalities do this? Do they,
We do in our office.
you do?
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Tax
long-
office does too.
okay, I just want to make sure, I didn't know, so that was a question
I think it's the same with notice.
with
It's
notice.
gotta be very clear.
The tax office, Judy, you get 2 charges on your credit card and say your tax bill's $500. It'll say Town of Webb, and then, I don't know if it says Express Pay or their parent company, but it'll be another line and it'll
Okay.
tell you what your fee is.
Okay, cool, just wanted to make sure, just wanted clarification on that.
Yeah, what'd you say, $12-something thousand in credit card fees or something? Yeah, so.
Yep, that's what we.
It seems to be pretty standard. I think people are kinda used to it now as long
People
as.
typically ask me if you know, it's the same cost, and unfortunately, I have to say yes, but I'd like to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Problems with it?
I don't agree with it. Well, that's fine.
What's that?
I don't agree with it, but I'm still old style thinking that it's a cost of doing business, but I didn't realize both those offices do it already. So that's just
I didn't
my.
have an option, Kyle, just so you know, and it got set up. They said this is how it works.
I mean that's fine. Whatever in place is. I wasn't aware of that already. I'm just of the mindset. Call me old fashioned. I don't know. I believe it's a cost of doing business, and with everyone being charged for everything else these days, it's just I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But that's just my 2 cents.
Hear you.
On that.
We could take some time to,
It's just
Let's
my,
stay with Macaulay.
just my opinion.
to talk about it. I mean, Mike's not here if you wanna, maybe it's worth calling Ryan and seeing what it takes to do, I guess, or the comptroller, might be a question for the comptroller.
Well, we already have.
We're already
two-
doing it,
We already
so-
have 2 in place, so I mean, at this point,
Well, I think
You know.
the snowmobile one is the same way.
and somebody else at 3. You know, it did.
It's a convenience
Don't let
charge,
my-
how I look at it now.
Don't let me hold you up.
You
I
know?
just
I
had
think
to.
mine is 6 or 7 years ago.
Mhm.
So,
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
long time ago.
yeah, I've been taking
Yeah.
it for a while.
Yeah. I had a hard time. I just did it for the first time last year in my store because I thought it was my cost of being in business and that's it. And then my accountant said, no, you got to do this.
And when
Or
we
you
put
won't
the
be in
numbers
business.
Together,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot for us to absorb when it's a 60-cent thing for somebody else to, one person 60 cents, us 12 grand. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Oh.
8, or can we do it? You think?
Do we need an nod or,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just
I think it's up to you guys.
add it to the,
Yeah.
put the notice out there and go for it.
Let's just stick,
It's my daughter-in-law.
let's stick with Macaulay for 1 second. Concessions, we've talked today.
Yeah.
Everybody's talked a lot. It came back and the attorney looked at it and I think there was a few things made, but I think I may overstate, but we're ready to roll, I think, because if we wait too much longer, we might not have anybody even come winter. So, I think it's wonky, Chris, a little bit, and everybody, if we say, let's have them start December 1st, I think we should leave it up to the concessionaire and then have talks about how we could adjust if they wanted to start this summer, okay, or fall, probably more realistic. So, that would be a sit down with them to when the actual contract started. So we can work around all that.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to work with them if they
Right,
decide to start
exactly.
this summer.
Right.
Oh, so the, so what's the timeline then for the bids? Are we're gonna put it up for, are we doing that then?
If we advertise Tuesday,
Yep.
be 30 days for
30 days.
people to put in a bid.
Yep.
Open them up in June.
And the people might come and say, honestly, we cannot start till December 1st or something. That's all fine, but I think that we need to be open-minded and see where they come in to see if we can start earlier. Yep.
And hopefully they'll want to start earlier.
Yeah.
And see how it goes.
For what you and Kevin have, your desires, right? But we want it done right.
I think the only question, the reason this is coming up is because there's already scheduled events, like we talked about. Was there 12? July, August, September?
6, I thought.
Because it's ongoing, so I had one just last week actually, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So if this person, this
We have 11.
business.
That's all stuff we'll have to
11.
talk to them about, yeah, and go forward. Yeah.
So would considering adjusting or waiving their
Rental
monthly
fee for
rent
those
for those
days.
months, I guess, would something that we would address as it comes. But I think in here, the one thing is with the events in the future. A lot of this happens at a lot of other, I've talked to Mike, Thundera does this. You got to use the person in there to cater your event. So whoever's in here moving forward.
Right, I guess the goal, you're saying that the goal is to have a year-round concessionaire up at the mountain now. And it'd be like anywhere when you go somewhere that you are using that concessionaire, their beverages, whether it pertains to alcohol or not, that's not even relevant. If it's water and iced tea, they are the concessionaire at the mountain, and that's who you book your event with, Chris, and then your food and the extras with them, if you so be it.
So that might be something that we put in the agreement with the person reserving the Macaulay, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Not so
don't
much
think that's
in
actually, like nailed down in this.
It's not in here. It would provide some security, I think, for
For your contract with the
Might be one
outside
thing we
people.
can-
Yeah,
might be one thing we can add to
Yeah.
this
Yep.
before Tuesday.
Yep.
That would be just trying to protect it,
And add to it for the following year.
correct.
Because this year's, it's gonna be a learning curve, figuring out.
Right, this is
as
a big
it
learning
goes.
curve, so we've never had it before. So, yeah. Yes, Linda?
I just have a question about that aspect with the concessionaire being the caterer. If the concessionaire was not somebody who wanted to do large events, like say they loved the pace of being a year-round concessionaire and looked like a good fit, but they were not into doing 200 and 250 person events.
Mhm.
Is that something the town would be willing to work with them on too?
It all depends. New York State liquor license are wonky, especially for us going up there. If that concessionaire holds a liquor license, that would be something that we'd have to discuss too, as to, yeah, you could do 200, but you wouldn't be able to probably have alcohol because that concessionaire, just like Jim does, owns that liquor license. So that comes down to that end of it. Again, these are things we're gonna have to work through and see where
Or
we
the
fall.
concessionaire might not want to do the food service catering end of it, but might want to do the beverage end.
Right.
Right.
And hire a catering service to come in for a wedding.
Right.
There's.
But hopefully they
ways
just
to-
use our goal is to get everything together this way. Yep.
You could get event permits though. Somebody could come in and get
Yep.
a permit to use that
Yeah,
facility with their liquor license. They could carry it in.
Right.
yeah.
So, just a quick question. So there would have to be an understanding with whatever vendor is in place that on Saturdays and the off season, that if somebody wants to book an event, that you're not gonna be blocked because they don't wanna do the catering, that the event's still gonna happen.
Correct.
You also don't wanna shut down
Mm-hmm.
access to something that the community
That's
should have access to in a way, you know what I mean? Like,
the other part. Is it, can this new lessee make themselves available to still cater to like the folks coming on the chairlift? If there's an event every single weekend, if it rolls into something, then are we not servicing maybe the mountain bike people as that grows and also the chairlift people as that grows? So that's why I think the 1 year and that we're talking about.
Well, and I think you move forward as far as having weddings and stuff as you just, you already have a predetermined date. And you say, all right, we're only allowing 3 weddings in the spring, 3 weddings in the fall, and maybe 2 in the summer. And you give them a date so that the vendor knows you know,
How
On
many
it.
weddings do you do?
you know, so the people just can't say, all right, you know, I want a wedding on this day, I'm coming in. Well,
Well, but yeah.
that could be a busy weekend, you don't know, you got
Chris, how many
the
weddings do
numbers
we have for this year?
to figure it out.
Sorry, Ben, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no, you're good.
I know we had 2 last time we talked,
We have 6.
6 weddings.
So 6, so 5 that are Friday through Sunday.
Mhm.
Then I have a couple of like one-day events in there as well,
Okay,
like another 4 one-day events.
and you're running the chair
So-
during those times?
Yeah, we never stop running the chair for, like, someone can't just rent our whole facility. They only have, the opportunity to take over possession of the chalet. So,
But-
you know, so we don't have it like, we're not doing the chair because, someone's getting married. So it's kind of like an understanding of the people that are booking it for a wedding, that you will have pedestrian traffic all around at the daytime hours when we're running, which hasn't, to my knowledge, hasn't been an issue.
It's
I
kind
mean,
of
I've only been at it for a couple of years now, but it's not been an issue so far, so. As long as they know what to expect going in, right? It's not a
Yeah.
surprise that.
But in the future, there's something to look at too with having the concession up there is, all right, we're gonna have weddings on these weekends because these are the lowest numbers that we know of. Because you're good at keeping the numbers as far as, you know,
As far as like how much traffic and.
Yeah.
And push weddings to that.
yeah,
Yep,
Yeah,
that's all.
pretty good at that. But that's more discussion to come.
yeah, that's
Okay,
gonna be kind of a living, working.
all right.
I mean, before
Agreement.
the issue with the deck and all that, I mean, I don't know what the numbers were for weekends. You know, I know that set us back, and then the following year, that was like a 2-year blow in my mind, because it affected the second year. 2 people going in were like, do we do it? They're gonna do construction. You know, we had all that going on. And I think so now we're starting to see that trending up for weekend weddings, and something that I would love to see
Right,
continue to trend up. You know, I mean, it's especially if we add catering as a service that the town may be able to capitalize on, right?
Because usually-
and such, you know,
Wedding happens now that you can't even use the kitchen, right?
exactly.
Except for the-
They
Closed down.
come in and they spend the money that they're gonna spend on the chalet, and then they provide their own catering.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can warm things in the oven, they can use the refrigerators and the bar refrigerators. I mean, those are not to be like, you know, overlooked, because that is a great asset to have all that refrigeration there.
And this is not a, you know, as we go through leases and stuff townwide with our facilities, this is not a rolling, this is a 1 year.
this is 1 year.
Yeah, one-
just
It
to-
doesn't
yeah,
continue after 2, which is,
Right.
it allows us, again, as to Ben's point,
to
kind
adjust,
of
Yeah.
to adjust,
see what happens here.
because we've never had year-round before.
Yeah.
So it would definitely like be nice, or I guess the expectation would be to have someone that would be flexible on both ends, right? It's gonna be a lot of conversation.
Well informed.
Right.
There's a lot of,
Yes.
take a ride with us, I guess, and we'll help you out.
Yeah.
The chairlift business has been booming, the mountain bike trails. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
what was the number on the chairlift?
all recent stuff, right? So,
And that is something that we don't have a good number for, because there's no way for us to gauge it, except to say that that's continual and it's not like people show up to do the mountain bikes and they're there all day, right? So that's like constantly moving. There's a lot of numbers in there. That people would grab a hot dog, grab a drink, grab something and go. I mean, there's a lot of potential.
Correct, that's the word.
Yeah.
And Sunday, that, you know, kind of cold, windy day, I was coming down from the dump and passed 3 vehicles with bikes in the back of their trucks and on racks. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a couple
They
of weeks
start
till it warms
falling,
up.
like in April, you know, the beginning of April, I
Yeah.
the bike trails open. Well, technically they're not ever closed, right? So, I mean, we like, you do not ride your bike down our ski hill. Actually, we would be closed for that, but yeah.
Well, the goal is to see the mountain used more, so
Yeah.
try to enhance it a little bit and
Yeah,
get it going.
to add something to the picture, you know, a comfort level, right? So you can grab something to eat, something to, you know, kind of, so make it a little bit more appealing.
Right.
Well, I guess I'll bring this up. You guys all look at the New York Warren there that Scott wants to. How do you guys think about that?
yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I think it's something that we should jump on.
it's Go ahead, Ben, keep going.
Well, it's a supportive deal, as far as signing up for it, so that we can get statewide mutual aid assistance with other towns. So if we have an emergency situation with the sewer district or anything else, that they'll send people to come help with us and equipment, and us vice versa. So if a neighboring town's part of it, if they've got an issue, we can send guys to help them and equipment.
It's usually one or two
Vice
people from
versa.
your town, if,
Yeah.
when what they have seen statistically, I believe.
Yeah,
that would
Scott
have
said
to
it would
go.
probably be him and, I don't know, one other
Whatever,
person.
one other person. If,
You know.
if we were ever called upon, we may
Yeah.
never be called upon, which would be the best thing, because people aren't in an emergency situation.
Yeah.
But the New York Warren, they start making phone calls for you so that you can get to the root of the problem, whatever that problem is, you can start working on it. They'll start making the phone calls to the state and to get, if
Yeah.
state of emergency has to be called or whatever, it's help, it's mutual aid, like fire departments are doing now, police departments, and
And so we're not,
cool.
they're not having to call someone else is calling them for them, so they can
Correct.
work on
so they can work on the problem.
the problem at hand.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Yeah, all about it. Yep. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Just gotta get enrolled in it. Scott's pretty passionate about it, so.
Yeah, so gonna be good.
What's the acronym for WARN again? I forgot what it was.
It was Water/Wastewater Agency Response Network.
Thank you.
Should we talk about what Hannah did with upcoming 250? Linda's gotten an email. Hannah took the ball from the last meeting. You guys brought up that we're a little bit behind on doing something for the communities for the 250th birthday of our country. So Hannah took the initiative because that's who she kind of is, and she went out and she Googled and researched and did stuff, and she has some pretty cool ideas coming out. One of them was to get a bald eagle, but that cost $10,000. So we are not doing the bald eagle, just so that you know. But hopscotch board, huge, over on the Tow Beach. It's things that kids and families can do. It's simple things. It's not decorate Point Park, decorate here, right, Tommy? The CAA is going to help a little bit. Linda has supplies if we need them for stuff, she said. We've just kind of reached out, and I think one thing that's going to happen, you'll probably see, is that they want to kind of do a decorating contest on Main Street for people, little things in taste, just to make it look red, white, and blue. We are looking at possibly some banners, depending on the cost, so that will have to come down. Hopefully we'll have the numbers by Tuesday and see what that is for the street. I reached out to the Legion. They're getting me a list of all of our veterans. So maybe we can honor them in some way that is honorable for them. So just good stuff. There isn't, it's easy stuff. What do you got?
Texting to the Legion too.
Okay,
See
you
if we
do.
can do something maybe before the Floyd family band and the fireworks.
Yeah, I'd say we both were thinking the same way.
Historical Society, St. Louis is working on that, like I mentioned before.
We get the veterans to walk across the stage.
That's what I mean. It's
Yeah, and acknowledge them.
Adam
before.
Court's away right now, so he's who I contacted.
Yeah.
Historical has a time capsule. They're working on a
So
time
that, that was one of the suggestions.
That's
right.
That's right.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I got it,
So,
mostly for us, I think we're on the right path here to get something going here.
I think we do, and I think it's gonna be beautiful and simple and fun for
I was a
everybody.
little sad about the bald eagle, but
I know. Henry.
That's pretty cool.
So, that's
I
it.
got the DEC on check in case there's one.
What else did
Someone
Hannah?
pops up.
Oh, the other thing Hannah would like me to, there's a new contract that the Committee for Parks and Rec put together. We're not gonna really discuss it tonight, but I just wanna make sure everybody got a copy of it in your mailboxes.
Yeah.
Okay, she just said she'll be here Tuesday to answer questions, so I'm gonna leave this for her. So
It's just
that's that, yeah.
just more facilities,
Yeah.
leases and stuff outdated and
Just trying to make everything equitable for everybody going back. So many things are, leases haven't been signed in God only knows how long, but that type of stuff. And then the shed for Parks and Rec that she has, and it's ready to be delivered if we say yes or no to where she wants to put it. Did everybody get a copy of that?
Yeah, and she sent pictures, right?
Yep.
it's over by the actual pavilion. It's still there, right?
Yeah. By
The barbecue, I guess you would call it.
So the shed's gonna go there for Parks and Rec to store stuff, and she got a grant for it, and you just have to say, are we good with it going there, I guess?
I'm good with it going there.
It's,
Scott's gotta know that it's going there, right?
Yeah.
She said that he knows and it's on skid, so
Jay, do you know about
if there
it?
is an issue, it can.
Yeah, they mentioned it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah, no problem.
You're important. Yeah, so, great.
Yeah, and I think she said in that email it was on skids, so it can be moved easy if needed. So I'm okay with it.
That's it. You got more?
No,
Okay.
that's it.
Kyle?
That'd be good.
Transfer station attendance, we took care of, we had some interviews this morning.
Nice.
And, looks like we got some, we'll have that covered this year. I think, we'll talk about that Tuesday with the data collectors next. I think Tina's been a little busy, as we all know, so she's got some interviews for that position. Herkimer Oneida County Community Foundation is gonna be at View May 14th at 1 PM. They're coming to just show some opportunities for Old Forge is what they said in there. I don't know.
11:30.
11:30?
They're going over a lot of stuff that, yes. I know because it falls right in the middle of bagels and blood pressure, which is like a collaborative nonprofit event that like ties in all the, a lot of local nonprofits. And so when I got the note, I sent them like, hi.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've sent a mailing now. If anybody can't meet in that time frame but can meet later, they are coming over to the library after, and they may stop by Bagels and Blood Pressure too, so a bunch of them. They're just talking about what grant opportunities are open, the Mohawk Valley Gives, probably trying to get people to sign up for that. That's open now as of the 27th.
And our, Joe Wicks is I've been in touch with him for years as a board member, and he's gonna be here, so it'd be, if anybody wanted to meet him, he's a major part of the foundation. And then we sent the application for that account we set up for, that should have dropped in the mail today for the sewer district. That's gonna be through this community foundation.
Perfect.
Cameras, I go back and forth with the Macaulay cameras. I checked in with John Clark. He said, he's just been waiting for winter to be over, so give him a little leeway. And I texted him this morning, as I said Thursday and Friday, it's pretty nice, so we'll see if
Winter
he
starts
gets back
again
to me.
Saturday, so he's.
We have to be quick.
Looking for a small window.
I just know, if you see Steve out there or Tuesday, I mean, we'll see.
I saw him today.
Those cameras are up there, and we paid for them. It's just a matter of him connecting them now because Starlink is up there. So,
Okay, perfect.
it's been a hot topic.
So, I'm sorry, did you say John is gonna be there?
I'm trying to get him to
Oh,
come
okay.
Thursday and Friday. I looked at I suggested those dates, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet.
Gotcha.
They're the nicest days of the week.
Then did a little diving into Ramona Point for the not fun stuff. And right now,
Not fun.
between everyone involved, we've spoken to the property owners and that are all in that area, whether they're on land, directly on the water or off the water. I think with Jay's been a lot of that. We had the chief in with that, and everybody. It's been going on for a long time, and it just seems to me like it's our duty to enforce our code that we have in place and to focus on that. I know it's been suggested by one side of the neighbors for us to go to the Supreme Court and go through all these lengths and stuff. And I just, with Brian, we spoke to him on Friday, and it just doesn't, seems like our job at this point is to just enforce that, the code with the docks up there. There's a 200-foot rule there, I guess, where you can only have one dock on the shoreline, and then they got a zoning variance for like a communal dock where that easement comes out. Then there's another dock there. There's only one property owner. It's not like an easement
There's 3
between two
docks and
properties.
one property owner,
Yeah.
just so everyone knows.
So our
Jay could talk to it probably.
118 feet of water of shoreline.
118?
Yes.
So it's under the 200 foot. So So, after speaking today, we think it's just, we just gotta enforce our code, and I'll just leave it at that. We'll
How
see.
easy is that gonna be?
Notice of violation, I mean,
Yeah, I think we finally came up with a solution today.
Okay.
other than that, we'll see you Tuesday. Look out for same stuff we've been working on, same discussion, good stuff. You guys have anything else out there? Anybody else have anything in here?
Mamas on Wheels,
Mama's on Wheels.
Saturday, 12 to 3.
Yeah.
Come over,
It's
see
very
the water.
fun.
It's very fun. It's very fun. We have a photo shoot coming to town. Actually, that says something to talk about. The financial impact, I actually do have numbers that I put together. For 2 days of working, these people are bringing about $40,000 to our community. Between hotels, catering, location fees, renting props, doing all kinds of stuff, and it's for Marmot. It's a clothing company, they have outdoor wear. They're coming to shoot Thursday and Friday
This week?
this week, yeah. But they'll be
Nice days.
staying locally from Wednesday to Saturday.
Nice.
Pretty exciting. We haven't actually done a production up here in a long time. So, but I think we're ready. It's all good.
Did you get a dog?
We got a dog, Camry Little's dog,
Good.
and we'll be modeling.
Yay.
Yep.
They called me, my dogs are not models.
Good boys and girls. But yeah, so anyway, that's exciting.
Not models.
And it's good to show that our town is still production friendly. It's pretty easy, like I call the DEC and some people up to Bald Mountain, it's just letting them know that we're gonna be up there. We have the guarantee that they're hiring to be with us. We also have great firemen who will be with us when we're up there too, and it's exciting to have people look at us as something else too, like this other something else. And we actually showed for 2 other productions that we haven't really heard from, but it's interesting how everything is so cyclical. We haven't even advertised Adirondack Mountain Productions, but people are calling, so there's something.
Nice, very nice.
Another testament to all you guys are doing.
Yeah, again, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned earlier about people calling up about the bike trails. I've been out a few times, bike trails in great shape, so if it falls, I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that from a few people now, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
We got that on Tuesday too, so get back to work on it.
Yeah, we were up there on my birthday. It was at 25th. We pulled them all off and cleaned them up. I mainly was just walking. Couldn't do too much.
And they did a nice job with the chairs and everything looks really nice in the parking lot.
Yeah, it does.
New chairs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Okay,
Look at our little town.
good, those are signed.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah.